Hi, I'm Cindy. Today I'll show you how to avoid gaping in pattern drafting, or in other words, how to make your clothes fit better. This method is called contouring in pattern making. This, I would say, is the second most important concept that you want to learn after the basic block. So without further ado, let's get started. So let's say you've learned how to draft your own basic block and you now want to experiment with different necklines and sleeveless options. One problem you're gonna face is that when you deepen a neckline from a screw neckline, which is the one on the basic block, to make a deep V-neck or a square neckline, there will be some extent of gaping happening, despite the fact that the basic block fits you like a glove. The same problem happens when you scoop the basic block's armhole, which is often quite shallow and designed to be sewn with sleeves. To make a sleeveless top like this, there will be gaping if you just go straight in and cut the armhole like the design you see. There are several reasons why gaping happens when you lower a neckline or scoop an armhole on a basic block. First, a basic block is drafted with a high neckline and a relatively shallow armhole, and it is intended to be worn with sleeves. In this setup, the high neckline, sleeves, and shoulder seams act as ankle points that help hold the garment close to the body and keep the edges lying flat. When you lower the neckline and scoop out the armhole, you remove some of these ankle points. As a result, the fabric loses support and is no longer pulled inward, which often causes the edges to fall away from the body and gape. Another reason is related to body curvature. In a basic block, the high neckline and shallow armhole sit on relatively flat and stable areas of the body. However, when you deepen a neckline or scoop an armhole, you move those edges closer to the curved areas of the body, particularly the bust. The pattern was not originally drafted to accommodate this curvature at the edge, so without additional shaping or control, gaping naturally happens. Third reasons for gaping is the role of bias. When you cut shapes such as scoop necks or V necklines, a larger portion of the edge falls on the bias. Bias edges are more prone to stretching. If the neckline is accidentally stretched or not properly stabilized during the sewing process, it becomes longer than intended, which can worsen the gaping problem. Now that we know the reasons why gaping happens, let's get to the solutions and how to fix it from a pattern making point of view. The short answer is to add some more darts. Let's call them contour darts. The function of darts in general is to make things more three-dimensional, which makes clothes hug the curvature of the body better. For this top, the curvature we're talking about is mostly around the bust, so the simple answer is to add more darts aiming toward the bust. As you can see here, the gaping happens at the neckline and the armhole. So if I were to pinch out a bit of paper along the neckline and the armhole, you see the pattern fits the body better. That's the function of darts, making clothes hug the curves on your body. Okay, so let's see how contour darts are added in pattern making through some examples. Let's draft this vest together. You can clearly see that this vest features princess seams, a quite deep V-neck, and an armhole not too deep. I mean not too scooped out compared to the armhole on the basic block. Now grab your basic block. I'm using a basic dress pattern. I have a tutorial on this if you want to check it out. First, you want to draw the bust circle. This helps you decide how much dart intake you might need in order for the garment to fit you best. The circle's radius is measured from the bust point or your nipple to the underbust, the point where the breast tissue meets the rib cage. Mine is 7 cm. It's okay if your circle goes beyond the space of your block. Now let's get to the drafting. First, you want to sketch the outer design onto your pattern and just forget about what's going on inside, like all the darts and stuff for now. The outer design includes the neckline, the armhole, and the hem. For the neckline on the shoulder line, just by looking at the picture, I'm gonna widen it by 4 centimeters from the basic neck point. Mark a point to indicate the neck width. For the neck depth, you can estimate the length from the basic neck depth, which is here on the center front, to your desired neck depth. I think in the picture it's about 13 centimeters. Another way you can do to determine the neck depth is to look at the distance from the bust level to the neck depth. From here to here, it's about 3.5 to 4 centimeters. So mark that neck depth. Connect the neck width to the neck depth to create a V shape. The neckline in the picture, however, is more like a curve that's scooped outward a bit, so I'm gonna redraw the neckline to something like this. The more you pattern draft, the better you become at gauging measurements just by looking at a picture. But of course, you don't need to copy the exact measurements unless that's what you want. I mean, you can just measure on your body and try to note the measurements down, so you kind of have a benchmark for the next time you draft a pattern. Let's move on to the armhole. I'm gonna move the shoulder tip inward by 2 centimeters and lower the underarm point by 2 centimeters, since I'm trying to recreate the vest in the picture. But if you have sewn a mock-up of your basic block and you like the depth of the armhole, you can just keep the underarm point at ease. Then connect these 2 points and we've got a new armhole. For the hemline, looking at the photo, I see the length of the vest goes past her waist a bit, I would say by 2 centimeters. To create this triangle shape here, I'm gonna mark a 0.5 centimeter down the center front and 6 centimeters inward. Again, these measurements are up to you and connected to create a basic shape of the hem. Now, as we've discussed earlier, if we go in and just cut out this pattern and sew, the vest definitely gonna gape. To address that, we're gonna add contour darts. The general rule I follow for contour darts depend on how close the new neckline or armhole is to the bust circle. If you scoop them out really deep, meaning they sit very close to the bust circle, I'll add contour dart with a width of 2.5 to 3 centimeters. On the other hand, if the neckline and armhole are quite far from the circle, you only need a small dart of 0.5 to 0.8 centimeters. For anything in between, a dart intake of 1 to 2 centimeters usually works perfectly. I know these sounds very like rough estimates, but trust me, the more you draft and sew, the more you will develop a feel for a perfect dart intake. You will eventually be able to judge the amount instinctively, simply by looking at the depth of your neckline and armhole relative to the bust circle. But if you insist to know the exact amount of dart intake without guessing, the solution is to make a mock-up with the designs first, wear the mock-up on your body, and then pinch out the amount of excess fabric in all the gaping areas. That's the amount of dart intake you should draw on your pattern. There's in fact contouring guidelines, and you can actually measure how much dart intake you should take in on different areas of your body. The concept, however, may be a bit too overwhelming if you're new to pattern drafting. Also gonna link some videos that I find helpful below in the description box. However, the principle I've just showed you works fine as well. Try it out first and step by step build up your understanding about pattern making as you go. Now let's add contour darts. For the neckline, you see how the neckline is scooped really deep and gets really close to the bust circle. So the dart intake I'm going to do is 2.5 to 3 centimeters. I'm going to go with 3 centimeters and add a dart pointing to somewhere in the middle of the neckline. For the new armhole, as you can see, it's quite far from the bust circle, so I'm gonna do just a small contour dart here to prevent it from flaring out. I'll go with 0.5 to 0.8 centimeter dart here. Some professional seamstresses, however, do not need to add a contour dart here and are still be able to sew a fitted armhole because the dart intake is in fact quite insignificant. That's because they know how to tame the bias cut of the fabric to prevent it from stretching further. But for home sewers like us, I think it's best to just address the potential gaping from the pattern making step. Next, we're going to transfer those contour darts we just drew to another area. You can rotate them to the bust dart or the waist dart. It doesn't really matter because all the darts are going to be absorbed into the princess seams later anyway. For this top, I'm going to rotate them into the bust dart. To do this, simply cut along one leg of the dart you're transferring to, which is the bust dart in this case. Then overlap the leg of the contour dart to close them. You see that as you close the contour darts, the bust dart widens. This means the contour darts are being absorbed by the bust dart. Even though they are closed and won't show on the finished garment, they're still doing their job of eliminating gaping. It's just that they've been transferred to a new spot. You see, after closing the contour darts, the neckline and armhole look jagged. We're gonna fix this by simply redrawing a new line. I'm gonna do the same thing for the armhole. After that, I'll cut out the final design. Now everything is back to looking like a basic block with just one bust dart and a waist dart. To create the princess seam, I'll draw a line from the bust point up to the middle of the armhole. Then cut out the waist dart. Cutting out a dart doesn't mean getting rid of it. It's still in the seam. And close the bust dart. Closing a dart means it won't show on the finished garment, but it's still there. It just gets transferred to somewhere else. In this case, all the darts are now absorbed into this princess seam here, but still fulfilling all of their functions of shaping the bust area. Finally, the hem. You might have missed this detail, but when we cut out the hemline here, we kind of cut past the waist dart, which caused uneven dog legs. If we were to sew these two panels together, there'll be some mismatch in terms of length. There's two ways to fix this. One, you can either add more paper to the side panel or cut out some paper off the center front panel. Either way, the goal is to make a smooth hemline. That's it. This is how the vest looks like on a mini dress form, and this is the princess seam. Next, I'll show you how to drape the bodice section of this dress. Step 1. Sketch the outer design first. Step 2. Add contour darts. Since the new neckline are really deep, like below the bust circle, I'll do a 3 cm dart. As for the armhole, it's not scooped too deep compared to the basic armhole, so I just do a 0.5 cm dart. You can just skip this dart if you want. Step 3. Rotate all the contour darts to either the bust dart or the waist dart. In the first example, I rotated to the bust dart, so this time I'll rotate to the waist dart. It's all the same because all the darts are going to be eventually absorbed into the seam running up and down here anyway. Step 4. Redraw the neckline and armhole. If you have trouble imagining the design, you can close the waist dart so you have a better look of how the top looks in a 3D shape. Here I want the neckline to be a bit lower. The armhole already looks good, so I'm just gonna leave it there. Step 5. Draw the design seam. Cut along the new neckline and armhole. We've got something that looks like a basic co-and-co block with a bust dart and a waist dart. Step 6. Cut along the design seam and close the bust dart. One more thing, if you want the bodice to hug closer to the underbust area, you can do a contour dart here. I should have showed you this in earlier step. Smooth out the bust point area and you've got the bodice block pattern for this beautiful dress. Let's do a quick run over some more designs.